from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. And as you can see, I have my Lions hat on. No, I've got to make a whole bunch of disclaimers as a former, big time fan of the Lions. Um, I'm still I'm still an ex Lions fan, but man, um, I've got to give Coach Campbell and the Lions a ton of credit. They moved up in the power rankings from number 26. They're now number 12, which is well deserved. And thank you, NFL.com, for recognizing the fact that the Lions are actually a legitimate team. Um, and I've had this hat going back to the days of Coach Caldwell, and during the time also when I was really critical of the Lions. And as you can see, I got my Red Wings on. Red's my favorite color, so I've never really trashed the Red Wings too much, but that's for another video. Um, the Lions. Okay, you're going to see more lives and stuff, mainly on NFL stuff, but yes, I am going to be focusing on the Lions and also the Buffalo Bills. Those are two teams that I focus on. I'm, I'm really no fan of any real team. Um, but I was always critical of the Lions, and and a lot of the things with when they had Stafford and stuff. And I want to point out a couple of things that I've noticed in these first 2 weeks, between the difference between Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. Um, the first thing I've noticed right off the bat is uh, Jared Goff and his release. He drops back. It's like 1-2 pass, and his passes are pinpoint accurate. They're not 90 million mile an hour bullets that the receivers can't catch. Um, and there was a big problem with that. And I will admit I was very critical about that, and I was very critical about Matt Stafford. Um, Matt Stafford and the Rams came out flat in the first week and lost, and they lost pretty badly. But they bounced back and they won, but they didn't win in a very pretty fashion. They won in a Matthew Stafford style fashion. Coach Campbell. Um, I have never seen, and let me tell you that I've been following the Detroit Lions since 1968. I was a diehard fan for many years until a few years, and there's the reason I've had to kind of separate myself from Detroit, the city of Detroit, even though I was born there. That's family issues and it's personal issues that I do not wish to discuss here. Um, so that's that. But I am just really excited about this Lion team. As I said, I'm not really a Lions fan, but I am excited for them. I am glad they are finally doing the things that I've been yelling about for over 50 years or so. Um, and pardon me, I've got a throat problem and stuff. Um, but so under the leadership of Sheila Ford Hemp, um, this is a whole new organization. And about several years ago, on a Monday or Sunday night game, Steve Young actually said, in order for the culture to change, it needs to come from the top. In other words, from the ownership down to upper management, down to the coaching staff, down to the players. This is what's happening in the Motor City, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think the other 31 other teams in the NFL are really ready for it. I was saying in the preseason, I was telling my landlord, I said, the Detroit Lions offense is scary good. They were playing with injured people. I mean, they even and supposedly Swift had a gimpy foot. I hope his injury is getting better, and I hope Aiden Hutchinson's leg is improving. Noticed he was kind of limping against the Commanders. So I hope that irons out. And then Jeff Okuda got banged up a little bit there in the game. So I hope they're addressing all that and taking care of those because that's going to be key against Minnesota. I'll get to that later. Oh, also I want to say that um, keep tuned in because I have a shout out for a highly respected channel here. Um, I won't release that now, but before I go off, I will do a shout out on someone who is absolutely positively good. Even when I was trashing and talking down about the Lions, um, as I said, I'm wearing my hat. I'm not an idiot who goes around and burns $30 stuff. I mean, I remember a few years ago when people were burning Lion stuff. Um, if you want to spend all this money, a couple $100 shoes, and then just put them in the burner, well, then that's your own stupidity. I don't waste money. But I do have a drawer. I have a retirement drawer. This hat came out yesterday out of retirement. Um, but I love my Red Wings. This never got retired. Um, and but so I'll be wearing this hat more. And again, I'm an NFL person. I will be doing um, live streams and just regular videos, and it'll be mainly more NFL related with the focus on the Lions and the Bills. So um, we'll go with that. And I want to touch on the Lions and the Bills uh, for a second here. Thanksgiving Day, the Lions are going to have, this is going to be, I am dreading that game. The Lions face the Bills on Thanksgiving, and even though I like um, both teams, I would prefer a Lions victory against the Bills, but I'll make my predictions at the appropriate time. But the Bills look very, very good. The Bills at this point in time look like they're going to be the AFC representative in the Super Bowl, and I know it's still too early to say, but they are just they're just I don't see any weakness on that team, and I think as the season goes along and the Lions get healthy. And especially on the offensive side of the ball, I was watching the blocking. I watched the game after the fact, and I was able to pause and look at it. And the blocking by the Lions offensive line, and you got to remember that's not even their starters, and the ones that were in are still kind of banged up a little bit. Coach Campbell has so much energy and just oh yes, um, and it's actually rubbed off on me. I'm back into my regular workout things. I've got my own workout. I've got my own gym here at home, and I'm back into it. I'm pumped. I'm getting rid of my gut. I got lazy. I'm thank you, Coach Campbell. You have inspired me personally, almost as if I was like a part of the team. This is just great. This is I have never seen since 1968. I have never seen a coach this good for the Lions, and he hasn't even begun to start. He has a 3-year plan. The Lions are in year 2, and it's showing. Um, I won't even go too far into the future. Let's see how this season plays out, but so far it's playing out very well. The Lions have they've got a challenge. They're going to Minnesota on Sunday. I'll do my predictions as and then that'll be all evaluated on with the injury report and all that. When I know what the injuries, then I'll make my predictions. But Minnesota is always tough to play in. They've got a crowd that's behind them, and they can easily confuse quarterbacks. Hopefully, they're gonna. The coaching staff all knows this, and they're gonna coach Goff into that, and the crowd there, they make the opposing quarterbacks make mistake with the crowd noise, false starts, bad passes leading to interceptions and that sort of thing. So yeah, Minnesota's very good at doing that. So I'm sure Coach Campbell is aware of it. Um, what the Lions need to do is establish themselves as they're building an identity now. People are noticing that the Lions are a team, especially offensively. It's going to be tough for teams to stop them, and even Minnesota. Um, now, since they're division rivals, I think it's going to be kind of a low scoring affair. That might not be so good for the Lions if that's the case, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm just pumped up. Um, I want to see what happens next week. And again, I'm my channel is no longer a Detroit Lions channel, but I am keeping an eye on it, and I just love Coach Campbell, and not only is he energizing the team and everything in the city. And this is something that the city of Detroit has needed for a long time. Uh, you get the Lions going, and you're going to have one hell of a happy city. They get going on, and growing up, I've always liked Motown music and stuff, and I'm so pumped up by Dan Campbell that I'm back into listening to the Supremes, Temptations, uh, you name it. I'm a big Motown fan, always have been. I grew up with friends, and they made racist remarks about me and why I liked, and I won't even repeat the things they said, and I just told them right to their face that they're racist. I don't want to hear it. I like the music, and if you don't like quality music from Motown, then just shut up, stay away from me. I digress. But this is all about Detroit. It's all about the city. Um, this is a really great thing. Detroit, even though I have my personal issues, the city really needs something like this. And if Dan Campbell gets this going, this is just, I'm excited. I'm just, uh, and maybe it'll rub off on the other. I don't follow the Pistons too much. Um, Definitely, as you can see, the Red Wings, and unfortunately, the Tigers have their problems. Maybe that'll get straightened out with a new GM over there. Um, but maybe if the Lions take off, it could rub off on the other franchises in the city, and just and as far as Red Wings, I just touch on that a little bit with Iserman um, as a GM there. I think good things are going there, but I'm gonna wait for hockey, and I'll do specifically stuff. I will be doing a lot of Red Wing stuff, but that's for other live streams. I just want to say that I'm really pumped. Now there's some things I want to mention that was pointed out during the game. The Lions have done something um, on Sunday, something since they haven't done since before I was born. The Lions managed to do something for the first time since their 1952 and 1953 season, and incidentally, they won the championship that was obviously before the Super Bowl, and they went on to win the championship, and then again, their last championship that they won was 1957. Um, so, but anyway, here's what the last game of the season in 2021. They scored 35 points around there. I don't know what the exact score was, but and and then of course they lost to the Eagles 35-38, and then the 36 to 27 win over the Commanders. Well, what that means is they have three consecutive games of 35 plus points. Um, They haven't done that since the 1952-1953 season. This is amazing. This is telling you something. This is telling you what the Lions are about. This is telling you that this is no fluke. Um, will they hit bumps in the road throughout the season? Absolutely. I mean, they play Green Bay twice. I expect them a split. Unfortunately, they go to Green Bay at the end of the year. It's much easier to play in Green Bay before, early in the year before all the snow and all the elements. But I trust Coach Campbell to have them going. And one thing I also want to notice, things about the Lions, all three units played as you know as one, which is what Coach Campbell is saying. Special teams awesome, offense and defense, all three units. And in order to win in the NFL, you just can't have one section playing good, and then the other two components playing below par or subpar or whatever, because you're not going to win. All three units have to be on their game, um, on their A game, each and every week. Um, and that's what I'm seeing from the Lions, and that's something that I have not seen from the Lions. Even when they had Stafford, it was one thing: either the offense was good, and then the defense was terrible, and the special teams terrible, or the defense was great, and the offense and the special teams just were not up to par. And that is a recipe for a loss every time. Everybody's got to be on the same page. Everybody's got to be enthusiastic. Every single player has to, every single play, do your job, do it right, have the energy, and I don't see any of this many years where the Lions were having the things, and the enthusiasm wasn't there. They were hanging their heads. They were getting beat on every play, and it was like they didn't care. All this is all turned around under Coach Campbell. Thank you very much, Coach Campbell. Um, this is and and I have to tell you that Coach Campbell's energy and enthusiasm. I've been watching other Detroit Lion channels, and everybody is just this is all, and I just have to give that credit to Coach Campbell, because his energy, his enthusiasm is not only rubbing off on the players, but the fans see it and they look at it. The crowd was awesome. I mean, they were just pumped. Um, and I mean, when I think the Commanders only had like 20 something yards in offense on the first half, and part of that's the crowd noise. So the 12th man, people coming into the Lions Den are going to find out that they're going to have a problem, which is good. Now I want to give a shout out to a channel that I've always liked, even though I was trashed, just trashing the Lions terribly. Dosa Dion. Um, if you're not subscribed to Dosa Dion yet, please subscribe to his channel. Um, I think I gotta check and make sure that I'm subscribed to his channel. I know I in my feeds and stuff I see his channel, but I gotta make sure I'm subscribed to it. But anyway, um, I give him and his parents a ton of credit. Here he is, a kid. Um, I wish I had the smarts and the brains that he does. When I was at that age, but I was just a punk ass kid, drunk, alcohol, drunk, drugs, blah blah blah. I was a nightmare. But here he is. He's going to college. He's living with his parents. They're allowing him to do this. He's building up a really good reputation, especially in the Detroit area. He's very good at what he does. He does his research. He does his research well, and then when he gets on air, he has pinpoint perfect. I mean, I know he makes his predictions and stuff, and predictions are predictions. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. So you can't fault him on any predictions that he might not get right. Um, Everything he does, and he's getting the attention of the players and the team, and when he graduates from college, I'm sure there are many places in the sports industry that will hire him on for some sort of position. And so for whatever team that doesn't do that, or team, excuse me, organization, whether it's um, journalism, a station, or whatever, um, if they don't pick up Dosa Dion for a decent, high-paying job, because he deserves it. He's obviously busting his ass in college. I give him a ton of credit for that. I give his parents for allowing him to be able to make an absolutely outstanding YouTube channel from his home. Um, the guy's, and he's busting his butt not only in college, and I am sure his grades are good. Um, and I'm sure his parents expect that. The deal is probably is, hey, you can have your channel, but you're going to have to do good in college, and this will pay off for him big time once he graduates, and I'm sure he'll graduate high in his class. Uh, Gotta love you, Dosa Dion. You're awesome. When I was really, I always went to his channel as mad as I was with the Lions, however bad they were doing. I would always go to Dosa Dion because after watching his channel, no matter how mad I was with the Lions and upset, after watching one of his, it took the anger away, and he is the most positive. Even when the Lions weren't playing well, he was always positive about it, and he's a much better person than I am in that regard. Um, so yeah. So head over if you're not subscribed to Dosa Dion. Go over there. And but I've been going on for 20 minutes, but I had to. I had to. This is really important. I just want the Detroit organization, the Detroit Lions organization, from the top to the bottom, and especially to Coach Campbell and the players, that the energy and the excitement and the enthusiasm is rubbing off on all of us. And I am a former former Lion fan, and I'm making this as a NFL type live stream, not particularly, even though I'm talking about the Lions. Next week, I might be talking about the Bills. So I'm more of an NFL thing, but I've got my eyes on the Lions, and I see good things coming. And once again, Dosa Dion, if you're out there, um, keep it up, keep it going. I'm going to have to check your channel again and make sure I'm subscribed. And talk to you later. Have a good day, and I am just absolutely stoked.